By the time the King Commission hearings were underway, cricket's image was collapsing. Fans weren't just questioning results, they were questioning reality. If betting approaches were happening around players like Derek Crookes, then how far did the network really extend? This is where the conversation shifts from individual exposure to structural failure. The 1990s were a perfect storm. Global broadcasting deals made cricket more profitable than ever. Betting markets in parts of the world were expanding aggressively. Organized syndicates saw opportunity, and they moved fast. They didn't need every player to fix matches. They just needed access. Access to information, access to influence, access to human weakness. When Crookes described betting-related approaches, it confirmed something terrifying. The sport's defenses were weak. There were no strong anti-corruption units, no structured education programs, no clear enforced reporting channels. Cricket had entered the money era without building the protection era. And the result? A scandal that shattered belief. The biggest damage wasn't financial, it wasn't even legal, it was emotional. Fans watch sport because they believe in uncertainty, in genuine competition, in the idea that what unfolds is real. When corruption enters that world, everything feels staged. That's why names tied to the inquiry, even through testimony, remain significant, because they represent the environment that allowed corruption to breathe. To be clear, being mentioned in an inquiry is not the same as being banned for fixing, but it does raise lasting questions. How normalized were bookmaker approaches? How many players encountered them? How many conversations were dismissed as harmless? The Cronje scandal forced cricket to rebuild itself. The ICC strengthened anti-corruption enforcement. Education became mandatory. Suspicious approaches had to be reported immediately. Modern players now attend integrity workshops because the old system failed. And that failure included the culture exposed during those hearings. Derek Crookes' connection to the inquiry symbolizes something critical. Corruption doesn't begin with a confession. It begins with tolerance. It begins when something questionable becomes not my problem. It begins when silence feels safer than exposure. And that is the ultimate lesson of this story. This wasn't just about one captain. It wasn't just about money. It wasn't just about betting. It was about a sport discovering that its moral armor had cracks wide enough for syndicates to slip through. Today, cricket is far more guarded, far more aware, but the shadow of that era still lingers, because once trust is broken, it never fully resets. And that is why the names recorded in that inquiry, including Derek Crookes, remain part of cricket's permanent history, not just as individuals, but as reminders of how close the game came to losing its soul.